Welcome to the Tattoo Marketing Podcast. On this week's episode, we are talking to Silas. She is better known on Instagram as @800StabYou, which is without a doubt the best Instagram handle I have ever heard. She's a color realism specialist working out of Esoteric Ink in North Portland. And we go into how she had an old school Brooklyn apprenticeship that I know a lot of you guys will appreciate. Moved to Massachusetts during COVID and then made the leap to Oregon. Silas has packed 8 years of tattooing into a career built on humor, community, and giant floral back pieces. In this episode, she breaks down how she navigated the pandemic shutdowns, the pros and cons of tattoo schools, and why great ink starts with great conversations. Enjoy.
My name is Silas. I 1-800-STAB-YOU on Instagram.
I do love that handle. That is awesome.
Well, thank you to my best friend. Yeah, it's a little more exciting than my name. But yeah, I'm coming up on 8 years of tattooing. Moved to Portland a few years ago. Work over at Esoteric, North Portland now.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so you started about 3 years before COVID hit.
Yeah. It's a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a different era of tattooers now.
Yeah. From 2020 to now, there's been a lot. It's been weird, I guess. Yeah. Good and bad, but strange.
Definitely. Yeah.
How was COVID for you guys?
COVID for me. So I lived in Massachusetts when we were, deep in the bells.
Got it.
But I lived in a small town where it's maybe population like 22,000 people, I think, at the time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But that was nice because small knit community, I feel like that's always kind of the way to go. So for me, it was nice because people were willing to wait. And then, I think we didn't work for a few months. But still connected with clients, still was emailing people. Everyone's like, I want this eventually. And it was sweet because a lot of like the demographic there, it's like a very college town. So it's a bunch of like younger kids being like, I want my first tattoo, or like really getting into it. So it's sweet to see them kind of grow up in a sense.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
Yeah. Well, that's nice because I think Portland was closed down a little longer than a couple months from what I remember. They were closed down for a while. So them in California, I know, was closed down for quite a while too. And I know that hit tattooers and shops pretty hard, and shop owners. So
okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I got lucky that pretty nice.
Yeah, for sure. So what got you into tattooing?
What got me into tattooing? Hurting people. No.
No. Bit of a masochist. Haven't you seen my Instagram handle?
No. I was always artistic. I went to college for illustration. I wanted to do graphic novels. That didn't happen, but
cool.
Yeah. I think I just kind of got lucky in the sense that I found someone that was willing to teach me. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool, but I think it was great for me because it really kind of forced me to stop being introverted. There's an art to tattooing, right? But there's an art to communication. And I feel like I started when I was 22, 23. And that's also like, I'm baby. Now I'm not baby.
Yeah.
Like it forced me to grow up in a sense and like really, learn how to interact with the world and people and just like really learn how to like be in tune with people's wants, needs, really communicate well with them and like, just get out of my little bubble of being scared, little baby.
Kind of force you to be social. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that helped a lot, but especially like mental health wise, like connecting with people, having a sense of community is really important.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's one thing I miss because I work from home now and like I have a team and stuff, but they're remote and like I sometimes wish there was an office I could go into because it's good for your mental health. Like you said, it's huge.
Yeah.
Being
So
with other people.
when you're doing this, does this help you? Like talking to, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Right?
Yeah. I love going to conventions, especially the Evergreen, because like you see the same faces every year. Some of the nicest people, and it's all really talented artists, which is a fun place to be.
It's cool. It's intimidating, but also you're like, wait, we're in the same room. That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. That says a lot.
Keeping that into perspective also. You're like, wait, I'm here. Like it's awesome.
Yeah. If you get invited here, you're definitely doing something right. Yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So you went to school for graphic design, came out. Did someone approach you about an apprenticeship, or how did that go? Because I've seen more and more kids come out of college with like a degree in, really anything. We've talked to ones with degrees in engineering that just loved art their entire lives and became tattoo artists. And it's cool to see that it's not, all, 30 years ago is a very different scene. Let's just say that. And I really think that's helped raise the level of artists that's out there. Is now it's not back alley bikers, or it's more, yeah. That's the fun stuff. That's the exciting stuff. But yeah, so what ended up getting you actually into it?
So funny enough, actually, my friend found the Craigslist post.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My friend found the Craigslist post and was like, hey, you're a cool little dude here. He's like, why not contact this dude? And I was like, fuck it, we ball, right? Whatever. So I did. And the guy responded like an hour later. He's like, come in for an interview tomorrow. I was like, what the fuck? So I get there. It's a newer shop that opened up. And the owner also owned an apartment building that was, touching the shop. So I get there and some guy standing outside, he's like, get in here in the apartment building. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of Brooklyn. Like, what's good?
This is how I die.
Yeah. I go in a room, everyone's smoking weed. They're like, you here for tattoos? I'm like, yeah. They're like, show us your art, man. And then, we talked and they're like, all right, come back tomorrow. You good? And I was like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
And then, had a very,
That's an interesting
pre-COVID cool apprenticeship, the little bit of hazing, you got to slide it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the more interesting stories I've heard about becoming an apprentice.
Yeah, man. People in Oregon now, they're like, here's my money. Take it.
Yeah.
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 But I had a very old school apprenticeship. So
got it.
I feel like that was incredibly helpful. We talk a lot, with my coworkers, peers, about how kids now, I'm not against the apprentice system, I guess, in Oregon, but I feel like being in, let's say a street shop gets you very well-rounded with dealing with people, really fast. Kids go to school here, and I don't think they get that, person-to-person experience necessarily before they're, thrust out into the world, and so they're like, oh shit, wait, real people I gotta interact with.
Yeah.
Different situations, yeah.
In Oregon, do you have to go to a school?
You have to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that...
I think it's the only state that does that too.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think California, right?
I don't think so.
Just Oregon.
Yeah. So what, if you know, what accredits a school? What do you have to do to...
Paperwork, I think.
That makes sense, yeah.
But I'm not sure in terms of the school. I know that to be a teacher, you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and I think you have to be tattooing for at least 3 years in general.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you just apply, and they're like, "We'll take your money."
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody likes money.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
interesting. It sounds pretty. Our shop is actually a school too, so we have a few apprentices at a time.
Got it.
Yeah, we have a few.
How's that working with a handful of new apprentices every... how long does it take? Yeah.
You still have the light in your eyes. Great. No,
just you wait.
Well, like I said, it's nice watching people grow. Yeah. yeah. I mean, again, I think everyone's like generally very nice. Like, I think, yeah, like at least the atmosphere that we have, like we really care about helping people. It's not like we're not gatekeeping like all these industry secrets.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. And how long does it take?
How long does it take? I think around half a year, I believe.
Okay.
You can go longer if you want. I know that my coworker did like a more traditional apprenticeship with somebody that was over a year. I'm not sure exactly how long, like between a year and two, where it was more, yeah.
Okay.
Because more of like the old school apprenticeships take typically a few years. The first year, you're not even really touching anything, but
You're doing a lot of sweeping and cleaning.
Yeah, yeah. Cleaned a lot of toilets, man. Got paid my dues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think after like a couple of months, you start tattooing people, and it's like simple like outlines or silhouettes, things like that. And then you need to do 50 tattoos to be like officially licensed. Have like a logbook and everything.
Okay.
Like, get signed off. Yeah.
That's fairly good, actually. Like normal, like we've heard of schools that's like 2 weeks and you're good to go.
Oh man, yeah. So no.
Tattoo somebody else when you not me. But yeah, 6 months and actually getting 50 tattoos, and that's a good system.
There's like a certain amount of like what is it? Practical and technical hours. So like hours that you spend reading up on like legislature, things like how do I do this thing?
Yeah.
And then practical hours where you're, like actually tattooing fake skin or tattooing willing human beings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The brave.
See, I got it good. I went to art school. I was like, hey, bros, like, get it free. Yeah. Worked out.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that, actually. That's a good system that it's that long and they actually because
it depends on the school, though.
That's what I'll say is definitely depends on the school. And I feel like schools in general get shit on a lot, but they also have gotten a bad reputation because a lot of them are like a 2 to 3 week course. And then you're a tattoo artist. And
yeah. I like that our shop does more of like, I don't want to say traditional, but it is more of like an individualistic, like you're really paying attention to someone. There's a lot of schools out there where it's like, I call them like the puppy mill of like,
100%.
But yeah, where you're in a group of people and like you have an instructor, right? But nobody's like sitting with you. They're like, figure it out. It's like a deadbeat, like dad, like here, like here you go. I gave you food and toys.
Yeah,
and like figure it out.
Yep, you'll be fine.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Here's some water in a bowl. It's like, yeah.
Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. Well, cool. So how did you, sounds like you've been at a couple shops through your years and lived a few different places.
Yeah.
What happened like leaving Brooklyn? What happened? Well, it doesn't have to be drama, but.
Hey, don't worry about it. No serious drama. I think it's just more like, either you stay where you grow up forever or you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So the latter, I was like, it's time. I moved in with my best friend who went to college in Massachusetts, and I was like, I just want to change. There was nothing wrong with my life where I was like, I gotta run. But yeah, I was like, if I don't do this now with like my young heart or whatever, I'm just gonna get forever. Like stuck, complacent. I think I was like, I need to take a risk in my life because at that point I was like, oh shit. And it was nice. Yeah, worked out again. Like Massachusetts was very cute, and then it was very sweet, especially being in a small town. And
it's a beautiful area too. Love
it was great. Yeah.
And so how did you end up out in Oregon?
So COVID times, right?
COVID times.
When you're sitting at home bored, you played all your video games, you're like, shit.
15 times.
God damn it. One of my friends was out here. I've always wanted to visit. I don't know why. It's like all the hipster movies when you're like 16 or something. You're like, wow. Yeah, I've always wanted to visit. My friend was out here, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna visit, man. And when you're like, you catch up with a friend on the street or something, you're like, yo, girl, let's get coffee. It never happens. But he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh shit. And then like a couple weeks later, I'm like, you know what? Cool, I'm here. We hung out. 3 months later, I was like, let's go. Like
Really?
I contacted a shop that I wanted to work at, and they're like, when can you come in for an interview? And I'm like, whenever. And they gave me a date. I just booked a flight.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, all right, I'm moving. Fuck it.
All right.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Well, yeah. All of my friends were starting to leave Massachusetts and like, do their career things. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
shit. Now was a good time to try something else.
Yeah.
Didn't know anyone here. That was bold.
That's scary.
So,
Yeah.
Here we are. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worked out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially if you're here, it's seemed to have worked out in your favor. Sorry, hold on 2 seconds. Sorry, I sent somebody to run to grab headphones. Hello? Hey. Mhm. Okay, yeah. Yeah, just any headphone. Just tell them the Sony ones aren't working, so I just want to try a different brand. Yeah, I've been trying to mess with it for like probably a solid 4 hours, and I just cannot get it to work. Just not like pink. No, I don't really care. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh shit, are they? Oof. Yeah. Uh, damn. Yeah, I don't really want to spend that much on headphones. If they don't have anything cheaper, that's fine. We'll just do it without them. Yeah, I appreciate it. Like 100 to 150. I'm also in the middle of recording a podcast. No worries. All right, bye.
Not pink.
She's like, "What color do you want?" Just not like pink. That's all I
My
care.
tray and stuff is all pink now.
Yeah, but I think it would be weird if I was sitting here with fake headphones and
What are you talking about?
I guess
It's all in the
$100 bucks.
confidence, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I do have pink and purple shirts. Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yes.
It's all in the swag.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as
Ladies love pink.
This is true. Maybe not the men in pink sometimes,
What?
but it depends on the woman.
Cool.
Okay. So, how did you, where are we at? 17. Okay. Essentially find your style.
Find my style.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh my God. That was I think that is a long answer. No, but I think finding my style, I've always liked to oil paint, so what I do now is more on like the color realism end. But I don't think I had the opportunity to necessarily do that before. Or at least like when I started tattooing, and still now kind of like a lot of like the fine line stuff, let's say, is like a predominantly popular style. So I learned how to do that. And so,
That's
No.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
no, but it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm good at it. It's-
Yes. Yes,
no,
you are.
But yeah, I think partially, trends come and go, the demographic of the area, what people want. Got to tune into that a little.
Mhm.
But I moved to Portland, and then I was like, who am I? What do I want to do? And I kind of just like, I don't want to say taught myself, but I was like, I know how to paint. I could probably color on people. And then found my style that way. Also, I don't necessarily see that many people doing that style in Portland, which is kind of shocking. Feel like it's still a very like black and gray town, but People like botanical tattoos a lot here. And
Yeah.
I like flowers. They're cool.
Yeah.
It just worked out. I just posted on my Instagram, was like, hey, I'll do this piece for like just, the cost of my supplies. Ended up doing like this big thigh tattoo with flower. Kicked off somebody to ask me for like a back piece, which I've never done before. Like before I moved here, I did not do large scale work, and that's now all I do is like really big. I was like, shit, I got that deal. Like I'm gonna have to figure that out. Goddamn. So yeah, I did this big, beautiful floral back piece for somebody. That was kind of my introduction to being like, all right, we're gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
Cool. And still, like, when people come to me, they're like, that's the tattoo that I saw. That was like, cool, I'm going to come to you. So
Okay.
that was, like a few years ago now. And just that one thing kind of like kicked it off.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of like doing gallery art where you like paint one thing and you're like forever
That's you.
like the balloon man
Yep.
or something. Yeah.
That's who you are now.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But I love it. And yeah, it's nice to,
Yeah. That's cool. I was actually talking with an artist yesterday on the podcast about like when you put good stuff out into the universe, it comes back. And it kind of sounds like that's exactly what happened because like you did it for just the cost of supplies. Like that's awesome. Not a lot of artists would do that. And then it kicked off this whole journey for you.
I do that a lot because I feel like there's no like point where you've like come to a higher understanding. Like, like I feel like doing that and then always trying something new, you're going to learn, you're going to make someone happy because they're like, yes, free tattoo, right? But I mean, yeah, like you're always going to have to improve in your life, adjust. Like you don't reach like a bar where you're like, cool, I'm just cruising now. Yeah. Like you don't want to just level out there. So anytime you get the opportunity to do something for someone else, for yourself, cool. Hell yeah.
Agreed. It's funny. I have noticed this is the best artists are always the most humble ones that say you never finish learning. I could always be better, always learn more. And like if I get, because like we do marketing for tattoo shops, we get a bunch of people that message us and it's always the ones that are like, man, we are amazing artists. We're not booked out. This is wrong. And then you look at their profile or the portfolio and you're like, well, It's always like that. I've never seen an amazing artist be like, I am the best.
Where's your artistic self-deprecation, man?
Right?
Yeah.
It's almost funny. It's every single time. And that's one of the things I love about coming to this convention is there's a bunch of those people that are the humblest. Like they could be tattooing for 30 fucking years and they're still like, I have so much to learn. There's so many different things I could tweak. Like I want to try these other things and forever wanting to be better and more educated is the way you become the best, I think. Yeah. So what do you do to make sure your clients have a good experience with you?
I'm hilarious. But
this is true. No. You do have a good personality, for sure. For sure.
I think, just as I was saying before, like learning how to be in tune with people, like it's just like something that you develop over time. I think just listening to people, man, like, feeling people out. I mean, I think to do this job really well, you have to have a strong interest in people and not just like, here, I make a drawing. It's nice. Like, I think everyone in this world wants to be understood. They want to be heard. They like want to feel like they matter. So like being like, how's your day? Step one, right?
Yeah.
Asking people what they're about, what they like, what their interests are, just starting conversation from there where, either you relate to them, you don't, but like, you both ideally learn something, like just, have a conversation about whatever it is that they need at the time. Maybe it's a therapy session, like just.
Yeah. But, I was about to say that being a tattoo artist is half tattoo artist, half therapist.
Yeah, no, and it really is. But it's nice. You're hurting someone, they're crying. They're like,
telling you their life story and all the problems.
They're like,
and stuff.
How do I fix my relationship with my mom? Help! No. But
Uh,
yeah, just taking an interest in people, I think is like just. I think you really gotta like people in general to like be good at this job.
mhm. Agreed. I would say that you will, as long as you're a good artist, you don't have to be the best, but as long as you're a good artist and you have all the fundamentals and all that shit, the next biggest thing you can do for your career is be good with people. Because they, like, I have gone to the same artist for probably 70% of my stuff.
Okay.
He's a good artist.
Yeah.
He's not the best in the world. And Jimmy, if you hear this, I love you and you're a great artist. No, he's a great artist. Don't get me wrong. But you come to like the Evergreen, you see these guys that are just like mind blowing, guys and gals that are just like mind blowing. But he's the coolest dude. And he does. I mean, his work is fantastic. But I can just sit in the chair and chat with him for 4 hours and like
that's
become friends.
Like it's about the experience. It's not just the art now. And I think that's where like people who are struggling, they're like, I'm cool. Why am I not booked? They don't have that level of like, let's say customer service, or they don't have that like the Riz. But I'm just kidding. No, but people are going to remember you. Like this is, a very intimate, permanent thing. It's like, not in a woo-woo way, but like it is like an energy exchange, let's say, right? People are going to remember you. People are going to remember like, how you were. And I think that's more important. My coworker and I always talk about that because we have a lot of crossover clients now where they come back and they're like, you guys are just so fucking funny together that like we just have to be here.
Yeah.
Fuck your art, man. I just need to hear you talk shit all day. Man. Yeah. Like, you're gonna look at this thing on your body forever unless you laser it or something. But
yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna look at it. You're gonna remember the person. People very quick, if you're a piece of shit, will like be like, this fucking guy. Like, I love this tattoo, but I hate this tattoo because like the person just yeah. So you have a very strong moral responsibility to people for sure.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
It's. Yeah, if you're a tattoo artist and you don't have a lot of people coming back to you repeatedly, you know that it is, you need to work on your chair side manner, essentially, and connecting with people or be a better artist. But usually, I mean, I know some very mediocre artists that are still booked out because they are just fun to be around. So, yeah. And hopefully you're a combination of both. Fun to be around and a great artist.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
just compensate until you're there.
Exactly. Well, awesome. I massively appreciate you coming on and taking time out of your day. It was a ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have fun.
Good.
Get pink stuff.
I know.
It's okay. Pink is great, man.